Stop here, don't scroll. In the next minutes I will steady your mind and set your next step. Many are falling, you will stand. My child, the hour has thinned. Noise grew louder while truth felt quiet. You sensed the shift, the heavy air behind bright screens, the ache without a name. I'm not late, I'm exact. And this word is not for everyone, this word is for you. You did not arrive here by accident. You arrived because you kept a small flame when winds were unkind. You arrived because you chose me when convenience chose you. I saw it, I honor it. Breathe in for 4, hold out for 6. Let your shoulders lower, let the jaw soften. Your hands don't have to live like fists. Many are drifting. More than you think have already let go. But I marked you to remain, not to be loud, to be rooted. You asked, why does the weight feel heavier now? Because a line is being drawn, not with ink, but with fire, between the casual and the called, the performative and the pure. What you're feeling is not depression, it is discernment. Your spirit is alert because your spirit is awake. I am not searching for the largest platform, I am searching for the deepest root. And your roots, though hidden, though weathered, still drink from me. You questioned at midnight, and you rose at morning anyway. That kind of faith, quiet, persistent, unglamorous, moves me more than applause, more than performance. Hear this, I am constructing you while others deconstruct. I am settling your foundation while trends shake themselves apart. Do not envy the speed of the crowd. Envy has no map, and crowds lose their way. I did not call you to blend in. I called you to break through. You asked me why the battles multiplied as obedience increased. Because you are not just a target. You are a threat. Every time you resist temptation, hell miscalculates. Every time you choose my voice over noise, confusion loses authority. Every time you obey when it is hard, your future gains weight. You are not invisible in the spirit. You are marked. While others chase platforms, I am shaping posture. You will not need applause to feel called, nor a crowd to feel sent. You discovered the strength of the secret place. You tasted the ease of surrender. Now I am sending you forward with a sound this world cannot ignore. Your obedience is not small. Your purity is not irrelevant. Your consistency is not wasted. I counted every tear, measured every battle, watched every hidden sacrifice. Heaven responds, not with a moment that fades, but with a lifestyle that holds, where my presence becomes your pattern, holiness your habit, truth your territory. They will say, you're too intense, too spiritual, unrealistic. Let them talk. They don't know what I delivered you from or what I rescued you for. I know. I placed something in you before birth, and I am calling it forth now. This is your turning point. Not a shift in emotion, a shift in assignment. You will no longer live in reaction to fear, but in response to my voice. I give you eyes beyond the surface, ears beyond the noise, a heart that feels what I feel. Not everyone will understand. You're not called to be understood. You're called to be obedient. You are my remnant. I am not building you for survival. I am preparing you for influence. The world doesn't need another influencer. It needs a messenger. One who doesn't just quote me, but reflects me. Who doesn't just preach truth, but lives it. That is who you are becoming. No longer swayed by opinion, no longer paralyzed by past failure, no longer unsure of your value. You know who you are, whose you are, and why you are here. The doors that shut were redirections, not rejections. The people who left were exit signs, not enemies. The season that dried up was preparation, not punishment. I am about to open what no one can close, restore what you forgot you lost, launch you into territory you did not know to request, because you stayed, obeyed, believed. While many fall away, you rise, not in arrogance but in anointing. Not in pride, but in purpose. Not for fame, but for fire. This fire does not perform. It perseveres. It formed in shadows, was tested in wilderness, proven in silence. Now it fuels you. Time to walk with power, speak with clarity, move in heaven's rhythm. This call is not for everyone, but it is for you. Tonight a sign. The peace that floods your room will not be ordinary. That's me. The message that confirms what you've heard. Me. The opportunity that appears without justification. Me. Your surrender is your strategy. Your stillness is your strength. And child, if this steadies you, let it find the next person. When words like this hold your heart, share so the word does not stop with you. Stay with me. We go deeper. Stop now. Listen. When many drift with the tide, I will anchor you. When fog hides the coastline, I will light it from within. You have felt the pull of currents that don't care where you end up, only that you stop resisting. But you are not a leaf for the water to carry. You are a vessel under command, and I am at the helm. You counted your life by clocks and calendars, by tremors behind your eyes, and the quiet weight that sat between your ribs. You lined up days like bottles on a shelf, and wondered if any of them held the taste of change. While you named this season still, I named it setup. While you traced circles in dust, I laid tracks beneath the dust. While you held your breath to survive the swell, I taught the wind which way to blow. I have not been absent. I have been arranging, not silent. Strategic, breathe now. In for 4, hold out for 6. Feel the storm exhaust itself without your help. Waves collapse when they meet a wall that will not move. Let my presence be that wall, calm, unembarrassed, immovable. You saw headlines rush like water in a flood channel, loud, constant, contradictory. Trends shouted, truth whispered. But whispers ride farther over water than screams that drown in their own echo. I am the stillness that refuses to apologize for staying. I am the lighthouse that refuses to move to impress the ships. Captains who navigate by applause crash on friendly rocks. Captains who navigate by light find harbors. Others call myths. You will be the second kind. I'm not asking you to be a storm chaser. I'm making you a harbor. Ships will approach because you did not move in panic when others did. Their captains will ask why your flame hasn't gone out in the wind. Tell them it is not a flame I protect. It is a flame that protects me. Fire under my breath does not need fences. It makes them. Do you fear collapse because feelings arrive like weather? Strength is not the absence of weather. It is standing where I stand while it passes. Clouds do not own the sky. They borrow it. You will learn to wait while they drift, to work while they mutter, to worship while they threaten. Your footing is changing from slippery opinion to steady promise. You used to brace for impact. Now you will lean into instruction. The deck will still pitch, but your knees will remember where to lock. Hear me, disappointment is a thief who studies your schedule. It shows up when you are tired and offers the kind of rest that costs your calling. It whispers, sit down where you should sail. Build a bed where you should build a mast. You will not pay that price. You will rest by my rhythm, not by quitting. The Sabbath I give does not cancel the voyage. It equips it. You prayed for a map. I gave you a line of light. Maps feed control. Light feeds trust. I will not hand you every landmark at once. I will hand you the next right marker, and then the next. Trust the light. Obey the line. Where I place the beacon, you place your bow. You will learn the language of intervals. How to move on the second signal. How to wait between bells. Timing is not a luxury in storms. It is survival. I will teach your hands the cadence of my bells. Look again at the sea that threatened you. Below the surface run currents older than your memory and stronger than your fear. I command those too. I can set a countercurrent beneath your keel that carries you while the topwater hurls noise. Others will say you drifted to blessing by accident. You will know you were drawn by design. Grace is not the wind behind anyone's back. It is the sea that bears those who trust me enough to leave shore. You worry about fog, about days when you cannot see your own masthead, when horizon and sky marry into the same gray. Fog is not your enemy, hurry is. In fog you will do what wise sailors do, slow enough to listen, steady enough to be found. Sound your horn of prayer. I will answer with the echo that tells you where not to steer. I plant bells on dangerous shoals. I ring them for my friends. You are not alone in the white. You are accompanied by instruments. Your fear of running aground comes from seasons where you mistook emotion for a compass. Compasses do not complement the traveler. They correct them. My word will correct you with love that feels like rescue and sometimes like friction. When the needle swings, do not argue with the magnet. Turn until the pull settles. Do not decorate the galley while the prow is off 10 degrees. Small errors travel into large distances. Let me have the 10 degrees. You asked how to tell the difference between a wave that should be ridden and a wave that should be resisted. Here is wisdom. The wave that flatters your impatience is not from me. The wave that tests your patience and returns you stronger is. The wave that promises you spectacle without solitude will leave you famous and hollow. The wave that requires you to be hidden before you are seen will make you useful when you are visible. Ride humility. Resist haste. Bend with mercy. Stand with truth. There are currents of opinion that want to conscript your voice into their fleets. They will offer flags and slogans and enemies to blame. They will try to convince you that rage is righteous because it is loud. I'm not recruiting you into a navy of noise. I'm commissioning you as a keeper of lights. Keep the glass clean, keep the oil full, keep the flame burning. Ships will find their way because you refuse to preach storms. You preach shores. You think you are late because others already launched. Some raced with sails made of paper. Paper is impressive until fire arrives. Then it is fuel. Your canvas is woven from slow yeses and small obediences. When the wind catches that, you will not rip in the first squall. Do not envy the speed of boats whose hulls you cannot see. A fast wreck looks like a miracle until the bubbles rise. Tonight I will mark you with a sign that fits your waters. Not fireworks, those belong to shore. In the middle of your tasks, a sudden steadiness will flood your chest, like realizing the anchor already holds. It will come while you are not performing. Washing a dish, closing a door, laying down a phone you did not need to check. That ease will not be laziness. It will be governance. Peace taking its seat over the variables that once bullied you. When it arrives, say out loud, "Captain, I acknowledge you." Honor sets the keel deeper. Do not mistake calm for calling's end. Calm is a corridor, not a couch. I'm not promoting leisure. I'm installing leadership over your thoughts, your speech, your reactions. I will teach you to answer slander with silence and lies with light. You will not spend 3 days refuting one rumor. You will spend 3 minutes in prayer and 3 seconds in truth. The rest will collapse without your help. The crew around you matters. Some men know ropes, some know ruin. I'm assembling hands who can read weather without worshipping it, who can tie knots without tying you to them. They will not compete for the wheel. They will respect the course. When I add them, do not interrogate them according to your old injuries. Bless them for what they bring. Correct them without contempt. A ship moves best when skill bows to assignment. I'm dealing with your appetite for shipwreck stories. You learned to expect impact, so you could feel prepared, then called it discernment. You rehearsed disasters and named it wisdom, but it was fear in a captain's coat. I will unteach that reflex. You will prepare by presence, not paranoia. You will scan horizons without inventing storms. You will carry flares for emergencies, not excuses. Some of the waves you battle are memories. A childhood squall told you home was a place where you apologized for existing. Now you keep apologizing to rooms I sent you to lead. I absolve you from that ritual. Existing is not an offense. It is obedience to creation. Stand at your height. Speak at your volume. Mercy is not mumbling. Meekness is not muting. I will show you how to be gentle without shrinking and bold without bruising. You asked about provision, the cost of sails, the price of repairs, the fuel of the crew. I can fund what I command. I do not order journeys I will not underwrite. Where I send you, I plant resources like caches along a trail. When you arrive by faith, the lid will lift. Do not beg at docks I did not assign. The coins there are cursed by anxiety. Take what I provide at the buoy I mark. Gratitude will multiply it. There will be mornings when the horizon is copper and the water holds its breath. On those mornings, raise your anchor, not because you are bored, but because you are briefed. I will whisper coordinates, people to call, steps to take, sentences to speak. I will time callbacks so that hearts are soft when you arrive. I choreograph more than sunsets. I choreograph schedules. Walk in the margin I make. Some will ask for your secret. Resist the vanity of mystical answers. Tell them the truth. I steer by a quiet voice and a faithful light. I confess when I am off. I repent quickly. I don't rush. That testimony breaks spells that speed casts. There is deliverance not only from darkness, but from drivenness. I am delivering you from both. You will learn to bless other ships without boarding them. Not every distress flare is your assignment. Toss a rope. Do not trade your wheel. Pray from your deck. Do not abandon it to play hero. Pride loves burning buildings because everyone watches the rescuer. Wisdom loves well-built houses because no one drowns. Build what endures. Let need dictate compassion, not compulsion. I am putting steel in your sentences. There was a time you spoke like weather, changing every hour. Now I'm tempering your tongue like a blade that cuts lies clean without cutting people to pieces. Your words will be warm enough to thaw and sharp enough to shape. When you speak into panic, it will slow. When you speak into chaos, it will sort itself into stacks. That is not your charisma. That is my order entering through your mouth. Hear the refrain. Many will fall, but you will stand. Stand when winds accuse you of pride, because you refuse to sink with them. Stand when silence is the only answer that honors me. Stand when opportunities arrive, wearing costumes that flatter your hunger. You do not eat every offer. You ask where it was cooked. I will teach your palate to taste motive. Ambition will taste like salt water. Pretty at first, toxic after. Remember the stories of sailors who jumped ship near shore because fear convinced them they were far. They drowned within sight of sand they could have walked. Do not jump. Even if you cannot see the harbor, I can see you from the harbor. I will call your name like a fog bell. Follow my sound until land kisses keel. There will be a day soon when the sky opens like a curtain and the line of coast cuts the blue. You will feel the harbor pull, how water itself invites you inward. Do not speed to celebrate. Glide to honor. Harbors are for careful joy. Lower your sails with gratitude. Count the crew. Thank the day. Then step onto wood that doesn't float and bless the sea that brought you. You will not retire at the dock you reach. You will resupply there. Harbors are not endings. They are appointments. I have circles for you to comfort, councils for you to advise, widows and warriors for you to bless. I will pour through you without draining you. You learn to open the valve of compassion and close the valve of savior complex. That balances holiness at work. Do not idolize the ocean because you survived it. Do not despise it because it frightened you. Bless it because it obeyed me concerning you. Creation is a colleague. It collaborates with those who carry my name. Wind became a courier for your prayers. Stars filed reports about your course. Even the gulls watched you and understood your persistence. All creation groans and sings. You have heard both. Now you will add your melody to the right choir. Lift your head, captain in training. Tie love like a rope around your waist. Fasten hope like a belt across your coat. Wrap truth like oil around your lamp. Keep the glass clean. Keep the oil full. Keep the flame burning. Your task is not to make storms interesting. It is to make safety visible. When many drift with the tide, you will anchor. When fog hides the coastline, you will carry light that does not flatter the fog. It shames it. And when the sea tries to tell you it is in charge, smile and show it your orders. They bear my signature. Now breathe again. In for 4, hold, out for 6. Feel how the water under you quiets when the voice over you speaks. This is not the end of your voyage, but the end of your panic. This is not the death of your questions, but the birth of wisdom that can carry them without capsizing. Go on then, steady, simple, scent. I am with you in the white, the blue, the black, the copper. I am with you when hands applaud and when no one waves. I'm with you when the keel scrapes safe sand and when it kisses deep. I'm the sea's lord and the sailor's friend, the storm's ceiling and the lighthouse's flame. And this calm that sits on your chest like a gentle weight, that is your sign. Keep it, guard it. When the next swell rises, touch your heart and remember, I did not teach you to admire waves. I taught you to navigate them. Many will fall, but you will stand, not by your strength, by my spirit. Pause and listen. Place your hand upon your chest and feel the quiet labor under your ribs, the steady work that does not beg for applause. That is where I've been most active, below the surface, beneath language, under the fields that others called barren. They did not see the winter I chose for you. They only saw the leaves that fell. But I never mourn a tree for losing what a season must take. I honor it for keeping what a season cannot touch. The root, you thought setbacks wrote the last chapter. They were my workshop. I pressed and pruned, I stretched and sanctified. I dismantled pieces you admired to build strength you needed. I asked you to bury what you wanted to display, not because I hate beauty, but because I love endurance. In the hidden soil, I germinated what crowds cannot clap for. Crowds do not clap for seeds. You planted obedience in darkness and watered with tears. I kept record of every drop. Now the slow and honest sprouts push through with a sound that only the patient can hear. Do not confuse growth with busyness. Some seasons ask you to bloom. This one asked you to bind. Coil your strength around truth until truth and strength became one rope. The fruit that lasts grows slow, learns heat, survives wind. You prayed for speed, I gave you staying. You asked for a platform, I handed you a shovel. You wanted a spotlight, I offered a sunrise. The difference is hours versus horizon. Platforms rise and collapse with applause. Horizons return faithful, whether anyone claps or not. Look at your roots. They do not perform. They persist. They do not speak. They drink. They move in darkness with reverent certainty, reaching for what is unseen and yet unfailing. That is what I am making of you. Someone who can feed on me when light seems scarce, who can pull water from bedrock promises while headlines predict drought. Deep is not dramatic. Deep is dependable. Deep is the difference between a storm as a sentence and a storm as a paragraph you will one day quote to help another read. You asked me why you felt so hidden. Because exposure before preparation is not promotion. It is sabotage. I hid you not to humiliate you, but to heal your reflex, to prove yourself. There were parts of you that still fed on admiration for oxygen. I taught them to breathe in silence. I rescued you from rooms that would have cheered your talent and starved your soul. I took you where applause does not echo, so that my approval could deepen instead of dilute. I am turning the calendar, child, but I am not skipping the process. Spring does not cheat winter. It honors it. Buds do not apologize for branches that once looked like bone. There will be a gentle riot on your limbs soon. Color where there was only outline. Softness where there was only structure. The same hands that held nothing but bark will hold fragrance. Do not despise the bark. Bark is testimony that you survived teeth and weather. It is the armor that heard insults and did not internalize them. In this season, I will align people whose footsteps do not crush tender ground. You will recognize them because they speak softly to seedlings and celebrate roots as if they were roses. They will pray with you, not prey on you. They will not demand your fruit to sell. They will guard your canopy to keep you from burning. They will water the ground around you when the sky withholds rain, and they will celebrate the rain without taking credit for it. Receive them without suspicion. You are not being tricked. You are being trusted. Provision is coming like dew, not like flood. Dew makes everything shine at once, but quietly. Pay attention to the small wetness on ordinary blades. Discounted invoices that clear. Conversations that heal a misunderstanding you thought permanent. Ideas that arrive in a whisper and immediately know where to live. I am not trying to impress you. I am securing you. Gifts that arrive with trumpets often leave with tantrums. I'm giving you treasures that can be folded into your pocket and carried into the field without performance. Guard the first fruit. Early fruit attracts early thieves. Do not showcase what still needs shade. If you must speak, speak to me and to the few who can help you hold it. Social noise is an axe disguised as a camera. Do not invite blades to photograph delicate branches. There will be a time to testify publicly. It is not at the first blush of color. Let the sugar increase. Let the stem strengthen. Maturity tastes better than novelty. Shame will attempt to return as a vine that wants to wrap your trunk and choke your breath. Shame will remember your address even when you move. Do not decorate it, uproot it. Do not negotiate with a parasite. Shame speaks in past tense to arrest your present. Answer it with the grammar of grace. I am being, I will be. Your accusers know your history. I know your design. I do not consult their notes when I craft your future. You asked for clarity about calling. Listen carefully, calling is not a title. It is a tether. It keeps you from being dragged by every wind. If you can be bought by recognition, you can be stolen by rejection. I'm fastening you to purpose that does not wobble when applause changes. Purpose is precise. That is why your lane feels narrow. Narrow is not punishment. It is precision. Highways feel generous but lead to traffic. Paths feel small but lead to places the highways cannot reach. Work with me on your rhythms. Roots drink at dawn and dusk. They rest in the noon heat. You will learn when to respond and when to retreat, when to pour and when to fill, when to speak and when silence speaks louder. Your calendar will be consecrated by refusals as much as by commitments. Holiness is sometimes no with a smile. I am addressing your relationship with waiting. Waiting is not a room with broken clocks. It is a greenhouse with calibrated air. Inside waiting, tenderness grows without the punishment of wind. Inside waiting, color develops quiet strength. Do not scratch at the glass from restlessness. Look through it with gratitude. Every day you thought nothing is happening. I was counting cells and weaving veins into leaves that would feed generations. You will step into rooms soon where your name has been whispered kindly by mouths you did not meet. Those whispers were not politics. They were prayers I answered through people. Walk in without shrinking and without strutting. You are not there to decorate space. You are there to heal it. Your presence will feel like the window someone forgot to open. Air will move. Light will find angles that were blocked. You will not need to convince. You will need to be. When questions about your past attempt to humiliate you, carry yourself like a tree that remembers saplings and storms without performing either. If they require your testimony, give it with mercy. If they require your silence, let the leaves do the speaking. You are not obligated to bleed for entertainment. You are permitted to heal in peace. Tonight a sign, not fireworks, root stillness. In the hour when you typically rehearse the day's failures, a hush will arrive that does not accuse you. Your inner critic will lose vocabulary, not because you argued perfectly, but because I sat in the seat it used to occupy. Authority will settle in your chest without shouting. Sleep will come like a gift you do not have to earn. I am training your tongue to bless rather than brand. Do not label people as permanent summaries of their worst seasons. Use your words like water for their roots, not like salts for their wounds. Even your enemies have roots I can redeem. When you bless, you agree with my intent instead of your irritation. Blessing does not excuse harm. It returns sovereignty to me and sanity to you. Do not try to carry every field. I'm not calling you to be everywhere. I am calling you to be planted where your fruit feeds the right hunger. The world's appetite is impatient. It will eat green fruit and call it refreshment, then spit seeds on the floor and blame the tree. Do not move your orchard to chase critics. Remain where soil and sun I assigned agree with each other. Your body is involved in this season. Treat it like ground that deserves care. Sleep as obedience, not as escape. Eat what builds you, not what briefly distracts you. Walk as if your feet were instruments, not emergencies. Stretch like a prayer that thanks me for tendons. I'm not only redeeming your schedule, I'm restoring your strength. The vessel should not resent the voyage. I will teach you how to inhabit yourself with gentleness. You still fear that joy will be punished. That is because old controllers use joy as bait to demand more labor. I'm not a taskmaster. I am a father. I do not hand you flowers and then tax them. When laughter finds you in the kitchen or hallway or car, let it ring without apologizing. Joy is not irresponsible. It is irrigation. It keeps roots from growing brittle under dutiful sun. Money will test your roots. Lack and abundance both reveal loyalties. When abundance arrives, do not build towers to view your greatness. Dig wells to serve the drought. When lack arrives, do not sell your birthright for a bowl that will not feed you tomorrow. In both states, ask me for instructions and refuse panic's counsel. Provision is part of purpose, not proof of popularity. You ask me why certain relationships withered. Some were annuals, beautiful for a season, not meant to overwinter. You tried to replant what was designed to be replaced. Let me be the gardener. I will compost what hurt you into nutrients that feed you. Not every ending is an enemy. Some are the mercy of maintenance. When I prune a branch, I am not punishing the tree. I'm protecting the fruit. Authority is coming upon your words, not because you will shout louder, but because your words will match your roots. When you speak, anxiety will downgrade to concern, and then to curiosity, and then to calm. Your voice will be a shade in noon heat. You will say simple sentences that hold rooms together. That is not a skill you learned in branding. It is sap flowing. Hear me. Many will fall away because surfaces are exciting until storms ask questions that only depths can answer. You will stand because you had winter. You will stand because you let me tuck you into unglamorous darkness until you knew how to breathe. You will stand not because you are stubborn, but because you are sustained. You wanted a sign that you are not wasting your time. Here it is. Watch how your appetite changes. You will lose taste for arguments that used to intoxicate you. You will crave work that used to intimidate you. You will prefer making one good loaf of bread to winning 100 bad debates. You will choose to plant instead of to posture. That is maturity taking the wheel. When the first harvest comes, tithe your thanks in public kindness. Give away what you wish someone had given you when you were barely breaking ground. Mentor without turning pupils into mirrors. Pray for those who pick your fruit without paying for your fertilizer. Let me handle the math of justice. You handle the mercy of generosity. You wondered if your quiet yes matters. Heaven's ledgers run on quiet yeses. History bends because ordinary people say, I will stay, when comfort says, I will drift. The revolutions I celebrate do not always have banners. Sometimes they are just kitchens where forgiveness is baked until the fragrance changes a street. Keep baking what heals. Keep pouring what steadies. Keep opening doors that teach the hinge to sing and child. If this word strengthens your roots, let the next weary heart find shelter under this shade. If your chest feels lighter and your spine taller, do not hoard the relief. Subscribe and share so the planting multiplies, not as advertisement but as assignment. When endurance finds you, it belongs to those after you too. I'm giving you discernment about seasons, when to gather and when to scatter, when to uproot and when to replant, when to mend and when to tear. You will stop scolding yourself for doing winter things in summer and summer things in winter. The shame you wore for being behind will crack and fall like old bark. You are not behind. You are becoming on time. Lift your eyes. A soft green is moving across your field like a slow wave. You will not have to narrate it loudly. It will tell its own story. People who wrote you off will ask you for cuttings. Give them generously without reheating the speeches they gave you when they walked away. Vengeance will beg for a microphone. Hand it a broom. Let it learn to sweep. There will be storms again. There will be threats in the sky and teeth in the wind. But your roots have met me. The ground knows your name, and the river remembers your thirst. You will bend without breaking. You will lose leaves without losing life. You will creak without cracking. And in the morning after, children will find shade where panic found a posture. They will lie under your branches and point at shapes in the leaves and learn that safety can sound like laughter. Put your hand upon your chest again. Feel the quiet labor. Give thanks for the work that no one claps for. That is your altar. That is where I receive what you cannot impress people with. That is where I keep covenant with you when you sleep. You are moving from seed to root to fruit to seed again. Your story is not a ladder. It is a circle that gives life, receives rain, releases life, receives light. Every loop will make you kinder. Every harvest will make you humbler. Every pruning will make you clearer. I will be with you in each loop, whispering coordinates, pouring courage, tempering zeal, surprising you with joy. Many may fall away. You will not because the wind forgot you, but because grace remembered you. Not because you never stumbled, but because I never let the ground be your judge. Stand, beloved. Drink deep, grow slow. Shine without strain. And when someone asks for your secret, tell them the truth. I chose to root where God placed me, and He chose to stay. Stop here, listen to the room you are in. Hear the quiet metal. Smell the clean sawdust. Feel the weight of tools that remember honest hands. This is not a stage. This is a workshop. I brought you here to fit what fame cannot, to measure what crowds don't care to measure. I am aligning spirit and scaffolding. Character set the blueprint. Now resources meet the frame. You prayed for a palace. I answered with a bench. You asked for a crown. I handed you a level. Do not despise the level. Glory without alignment becomes a leaning tower people admire until it falls. The level tells the truth, even when your eye insists the line is straight. Hold the bubble at center. Let humility correct what hurry calls close enough. Lay the plans on the table. We begin again, not because you failed, but because you learned. The old drawing had rooms for approval and closets for fear. We will revise. We will widen the hallway where love must pass freely. We will remove the secret passage where compromise hid. Purpose does not need traps. It needs light. Roll the paper flat. Pin the corners with patience. Fetch the pencil named Repent and write with it without shame. Measure twice, cut once. You have wasted hours trimming pieces that would have fit if you had listened to the second check. The first glance feeds your pride. The second glance feeds your peace. I'm teaching you to love precision because it honors people. Crooked work injures hands you will never see. Straight work blesses strangers you will never meet. Care for the neighbor you do not know by building what will not splinter when they lean. Reach for the square. Square reveals what angles pretend to be. It does not argue, it aligns. Hold your choices against it. Hold your sentences. Hold your motives. The square will not flatter your favorite edge. It will correct it. Do not be offended. Become grateful. Correction in here prevents collapse out there. Hear the cadence of the shop. Steady taps, patient sanding. The soft hiss of glue pressed between surfaces that agree. Agreement is stronger than attraction. Attraction shouts. Agreement lasts. I'm teaching you to choose partners by grain, not by gloss. Wood that looks impressive under varnish may twist when the season changes. Look for grain that runs true. Listen for hearts that expand in heat and contract in cold without cracking. Pick up the chisel. Its edge is honest. It takes away what cannot remain, so that what must remain can breathe. You fear chisels because others use them like weapons. In my hand, the chisel is a surgeon. I remove not to humiliate, but to heal movement. When I pare, I am making room for the joint that carries weight. Do not cling to extra wood. Extra is not always more. Extra is sometimes weakness waiting to warp. The mallet will sound like thunder in small spaces. Do not confuse sound with anger. Feel the cadence. I do not strike to bruise. I strike to seat the joint. Tenon meets mortis. Strength into silence. You will feel it. The moment resistance gives way, the piece slides home and the frame stands without wobble. That is purpose settling into bone. Hold the tape. See its numbers. Numbers are friends when they serve meaning and enemies when they become meaning. We will count, yes. We will track hours, budgets, outputs. But counting will not crown you. Faithfulness wears the crown here. I do not pay by virality. I pay by obedience. The tape is a tool. It is not a throne. Bring your tongue closer to truth. In this room we do not exaggerate. We do not understate to look humble, and we do not overstate to look grand. We say what is, then we say what will be by my promise. Hyperbole is a cheap varnish that cracks under heat. Honesty is oil that deepens with time. Coat your sentences with oil. Sweep as you work, clean as you create. Sawdust that is left to collect becomes a hazard. Small neglects become large fires. You think you are saving time by leaving the floor to tomorrow. You are borrowing danger. Order is not performance. Order is protection. Put the tools back in their homes. They will not resent you. They will bless you by being ready when need returns. Pick up the plane. Feel how it asks you to listen to the grain, not fight it. Push with the wood, not against it. Hear the long ribbon peel away, the curl that smells like forest and remembers rain. That sound is grace. It is the music of resistance turning to reveal. Your calling will feel like that when you stop forcing and start following the line I drew in the fiber. Glue is covenant. Apply it thinly and evenly. Press parts together with clamps that hold without crushing. Too little clamp and the joint will brag today and break tomorrow. Too much clamp and you will squeeze out what needed to remain. Strength requires pressure, not strangling. Relationships are the same. Tight enough to hold, loose enough to breathe. Sand and sand again. People will not remember your blueprints. They will remember how the surface met their skin. Splinters ruin sermons. Your kindness is grit that removes the proud ridges your anxiety left. Begin with the coarse that shapes, end with the fine that soothes. Blow the dust away with blessing. Run your palm over the work. Smile at the gentle varnish slowly. Beauty wants to rush. Let each coat cure. Patience is what gives depth to shine. A single thick layer looks eager and ends sticky. Thin layers, truth on truth, mercy on mercy, become a finish that lasts under hands and weather. Do not build your life with once, build with again. I will meet you in the again. Take inventory. Purpose requires materials. List what you have. Courage reclaimed, clarity growing, boundaries learned, tenderness returning. List what you need. Counsel that does not flatter, rhythms that don't exploit you, rest you don't apologize for. I will supply. I have vendors you cannot see. I place orders from heaven's storeroom. Deliveries will arrive with timing that feels inconvenient to pride and perfect to trust. A customer will come, the kind you prayed for but did not picture correctly. They will not say all the right words. They will carry need wrapped in annoyance. Do not reject them because they do not understand the value of craft. Teach them gently. Show them joints they never knew existed. Give them a chair that will hold their family for 20 years. That is ministry. Some days will be loud with hammers. Some days will be quiet with measuring. Value both. Hammers make statements. Measuring makes sense. When I call you to silence, do not accuse yourself of laziness. When I call you to strike, do not punish yourself with perfectionism. Your pace is prophetic when it matches my voice, not your neighbor's calendars. So I'm giving you a team, not a crowd, a team. Look for the one who loves sweeping. Look for the one who enjoys sharpening blades others dulled. Look for the one who can fix a tool instead of buying a new one for admiration. These are royal in this room. Honor them, bake them bread, pray over their shoulders while they work. Your gratitude will keep envy from making a nest. Your language must lose complaint. Complaints warp wood. They add invisible moisture that swells ego and shrinks wonder. Replace, why is this taking so long, with thank you that this will stand so long. Replace, no one sees this, with no one will have to think about it because it will just work. Replace, I deserve more, with I am being trusted with more. Gratitude is the dehumidifier of the soul. You will be tested with shortcuts. A supplier will promise cheaper wood that looks the same on the showroom floor. Do not buy integrity's impersonators. Fast glue that brags about grip but embrittles with age will court you. Decline the date. Process is the romance that keeps covenant after the wedding of launch day. Refuse to flirt with speed. The door you are building is not just a door. It's a decision that people will walk through daily without thanking the hinges. Build hinges that don't require thanks. Think of the single mother who will carry groceries and a baby through this doorway and needs it to close without kicking. Think of the old man whose hands shake and needs the handle to forgive him. Design for mercy. That is theology with screws in it. You asked me about promotion. Promotion in this kingdom looks like trust with heavier wood, faith with sharper steel, joy with larger tables. I do not lift you to keep you floating. I lift you to let more sit and eat. Expect the table to grow. Expect the legs to thicken. Expect the bracing to become more complex. I'm not complicating your life. I'm extending your hospitality. Your story with money is maturing here. Pricing is part of purpose. Underselling what costs tears is not kindness. It is contempt for obedience. Overselling what costs nothing is theft. Ask me for numbers. I will show you prices that honor both craft and community. Charge what lets you keep blessing. Give what lets you keep breathing. Tithe in generosity and time, not only in coins. When anger visits because a piece cracked after hours of care, do not throw the whole bench. Breathe. Learn the crack. Was it hidden grain? Was it pressure too soon? Was it wood that needed acclimation before assembly? Wisdom is not shame. Wisdom is post-mortem without self-hatred. Fix the fixable. Salvage the salvageable. Burn what must become heat in winter and call it provision. Speak constantly with me while you work. Not performance prayers. Workshop talk. Is this square? More glue here? Do I wait? Is the silence instruction or invitation? I answer in small felt shifts. A peace that says proceed, a light hesitation that says hold, a joy that says this is the way, a grief that says not there. My voice is a supervisor without sarcasm. I will bring inspectors, voices that test without torturing. They will knock on joints and listen for hollowness. Do not fear them. Welcome them with water and bread. Let them find what you missed. A note on a clipboard now saves a headline later. You asked to be kept. This is keeping. The sign above this room is not your name in gold. The sign is a sentence. We build for storms and grandchildren. Let that be your creed. Build chairs that can hold sorrow. Build tables that can hold arguments until they turn into prayer. Build doors that can be slammed by teenagers and still open for reconciliation. Build shelves that can carry heavy books about grief and heavy baskets filled with toys about joy. Sacred is not fragile. Sacred is durable. Your hands are part of the liturgy. Bless them. They have learned new weights. They have learned to hold and release. They have learned to carry and to rest. Oil them, stretch them, bandage them without dramatics when they bleed. Do not make a doctrine out of injuries. Make a habit out of healing. Listen to the minute hooks I tuck into your day. Every 60 seconds, an invitation. Pause, check the level, sweep a strip, sip water like a prayer, smile at the wood. This keeps you here. This keeps you human. Retention of attention is worship when the work is assignment. Let every minute hold a micro amen. Your past workshops included voices that mocked your slowness. They mistook patience for poverty. I'm removing their echoes. In this room, patience is wealth. In this room, slowness is investment. In this room, detail is dignity. Breathe differently here. Stand taller here. Laugh here. Do not whisper unless reverence asks for it. Otherwise, let joy be audible. Joy teaches wood to sing. You will create jigs, guides that repeat angles perfectly. Share them. Do not patent what the poor need. Publish patterns that lift others into accuracy. There is a righteousness in reproducibility. Legacy is not mystery. Legacy is method generously given. I will ask you to sign your work, not for vanity, for accountability. A small mark under the frame where only repairers will see. When they find it, they will know who to thank and where to ask for counsel. Your signature will become a quiet network of trust. Reputation is not advertisement. It is a history of kept promises. Expect visits from those who want your bench without your process. They will offer applause to rent your name. Decline gently. Invite them to learn instead. Show them how long it takes for glue to cure. Watch who stays. Teach those. Bless the rest as they hurry away to the next spectacle. You will not be bitter. You will be busy loving what lasts. The room will have seasons. Summer will tempt you to expand too quickly. Winter will tempt you to close your fist. Both are lies. Expand by instruction, not impulse. Give by wisdom, not guilt. I will tell you when to add a lathe, when to hire another pair of hands, when to move to a space with more light. I lead with light, not with panic. Take breaks that honor the temple of your body. Sit outside and let sun repair your chemicals. Drink water like a sacrament. Stretch your back with gratitude. Laugh with the team about nothing at all. Holiness includes this. People saved from burnout, saved projects from collapse. Now look at the frame on the sawhorses. See how it stands without you holding it. That is the fruit of alignment. You could walk away and it would not fall. This is the goal. Build what doesn't require your endless grip. I'm liberating you from being the only nail that holds everything together. Delegation is humility in motion. Trust is the clamp you cannot see. I'm giving you sight for hidden defects, not to obsess, to bless. You will sense where wood is tired and needs reinforcement. You will know where to add a brace no one will notice. You will write instructions that prevent injuries for people whose names you will never know. This is priesthood with pencils. Tighten the final bolts. Wipe the last line of glue. Sand the whisper of a ridge you alone would notice. Then step back, breathe, call this good. Not perfect, good. I called creation good while stars were still learning their songs. Perfectionism is a counterfeit of holiness. It promises worship and delivers paralysis. Good will serve families. Good will survive storms. Good will welcome God, open the door. Carry the peace into light. Feel the weight leave your arms and enter the room it was born for. Watch how space rearranges to receive it. Chairs gather. Shadows change. A child's hand finds a surface, the right height to color on. A grandmother leans and trusts the leg you braced. Ministry completed. You will return to the bench tomorrow, not because you are unfinished in failure, but because love is unfinished by design. There is always another table, another hinge, another frame ready to bless breath. You are not trapped by need. You are invited by purpose. Listen once more. I am in this room. I'm the soft hum in the fluorescence and the quiet courage in your chest. I'm the patience in your wrist and the wisdom in your eye. I am the smile that comes when the joint seats clean. I'm the peace that refuses to trade integrity for speed. When many rush to perform, you will remain to build. When many cut corners to be seen, you will square corners to be safe. When many fall away because process feels too slow, you will stand because presence taught you to love the slow that lasts. Now, wipe the bench. Put the tools home. Turn off the light like a benediction. Whisper, thank you for the work, thank you for the room, thank you for the people this will hold. Walk out without drama. Sleep without fear. Tomorrow we will choose wood again. Tomorrow we will measure and cut and sing and bless. Tomorrow the workshop will be holy because I will be here, and you will be too. Stop, hear me. This stretch of road is not a detour. It is a designed crossing. I'm building a bridge where others saw only a gap. You woke with a stirring, a sense that something sacred is unfolding. That is not fantasy, it is alignment. I adjusted things behind the curtain, removed voices that drained you, prepared rooms with your name whispered into the walls. You did not miss the path. I hid you until the bridge could bear your weight. Walk with me step by step. Do not sprint from insecurity or stall from overthinking. Bridges are meant to be crossed at a steady pace, eyes forward, hands free of baggage that rattles the planks. As you move, I will show you markers, favor that fits, peace that holds, counsel that corrects without crushing. Some lanes will look wider, but width without assignment is delay. Follow precision, not popularity. I am mending what shame fractured, placing dignity where the world placed labels. You will not wear your history like a hazard light. You will wear hope like a reflector that helps others see the lane. Your story has edges, yes, but grace has sanded them. What once cut you now cuts ropes that bound others. Keep your words warm and your boundaries strong. Mercy does not mean access for harm. Love does not mean permission for abuse. At the midpoint of the bridge, winds rise. They try to sell you panic. Turn back. You are far from both sides. Lift your eyes. I am in the middle with you. I made the middle. I strengthened the span at its most vulnerable place. Courage is not the absence of shaking. It is the decision to plant your feet when shaking arrives. Breathe, in for 4, hold, out for 6. Let my steadiness steady you. When you step off this bridge, you will not be the same as when you stepped on. You will speak more clearly, choose more calmly, love more cleanly. Your pace will become prophetic, measured by obedience, not by metrics. And child, if this word is placing steel in your steps, let it travel. Subscribe and share so the next tired traveler finds this bridge in time. Not as promotion, as provision. We cross together. The road continues, yes, but not as endless asphalt. It becomes a path through fields you once only dreamed of. I will give you tasks that feel like right work in right weather. You will hear your name without flinching. You will walk into rooms without rehearsing an apology. And when someone asks, how did you get here? You will say, God built a bridge I couldn't see, then walked beside me while I crossed. Keep moving. The sign you asked for will come tonight, as unexplainable ease where you used to tense. Not because the world softened, but because I carried weight you were never meant to hold. Many will fall away when their roads narrow. You will stand when the road narrows, because the narrow is where purpose becomes precise. Forward, beloved. The bridge holds. I do too. Come in. Set your burdens down. Hear the door close gently and the hinge sing like a small choir. This is not the end. It is the arrival that equips your next beginning. I've prepared a home inside you where weather cannot trespass, an interior altar where peace stays and fear loses its key. Sit by the light. Feel how the flame does not demand attention. It simply warms and reveals. You ask for closure. I give you commissioning. You wanted a finish line. I give you a hearth that sends you in seasons. From here you will host courage for others, chairs for the weary, bread for the ashamed, language for the tongue-tied. Ministry will look like steady presence, more than loud performance. Listening longer, blessing sooner, speaking slower, staying softer. This is influence that survives storms. Look around the rooms I built in you. A hall of forgiveness with doors that open inward first. A study of wisdom where questions sit without being shamed. A kitchen of generosity where gratitude seasons everything. A porch of witness where stories are told without spectacle. This house is not for display, it is for refuge. People will not remember your decor. They will remember that they could breathe here. I am sealing cracks that once whistled with drafts of accusation. I'm hanging windows that frame hope, not headlines. I'm laying rugs woven from endurance. Soft enough for children to play, tough enough for boots that carried bad news. Your past will not squeak underfoot. It will support without noise. Holiness sounds like floors that hold. Now lift your eyes to the mantle. See the small flame. That is the word I placed in you. Tested in wilderness, proven in silence, unfazed by trends. Guard it, but do not hide it. Feed it with scripture and quiet, with gratitude and honest work. Let it light faces without scorching them. When winds rise, they will discover what the wilderness already learned. This flame bows to no weather, but lives by my breath. You feared that if you rested, everything would fall apart. Hear me? Rest is not abdication. It is agreement. It says, God, I trust you're keeping more than my constant touch. Schedule rest like you schedule courage. Bake celebration into the calendar so joy does not have to beg for space. I'm not impressed by exhaustion. I'm invested in endurance. When you step back outside, you will carry this house with you. Your voice will sound like a doorway. Your presence will feel like a porch light. People will stand a little taller in your shadow and not know why. Tell them the truth. God built a home in me and he welcomes you. Many will fall away as noise grows. You will stand because you learned where to live. In me, rise now. Lock the lies out. Open the table. Bless the day. And go steady, simple scent. The fire will not go out. I am here, I am home. I'm with you to the end of the age.